Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition. These are recorded live Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to come around and watch the show live, you can do it on over there. And today we are first talking about the Sprint T-Mobile, the T-Sprint and Mobile merger. There you go. Is good, actually, according to the Department of Justice and the FCC. They really wanted to go through. 13 states are suing to block the deal so far. And so basically they're saying, hey, this is great. This merging the cell phone companies is going to help competition. I mean, what do we expect the government to say? They're about as clueless as it gets. If they say A, the answer's B. I mean, come on, guys. So anyway, they want to push us out to help push along the 5G implementation, because 5G will be able to enable them to track about just about everybody, just about everything, because IoT is going to be everywhere. And then they're going to put little smart chips inside of all of our little devices, and you'll have to wrap your microwave in aluminum foil. Go figure. But anyway, the transaction, there was some attempt to block it, and then all of a sudden, Department of Justice and FCC came out and decided to pass it. Excuse me. Wow. And so what ended up happening then is they come out and talking about how great of a deal this would be. This is just the best thing ever for all of us. But 13 states are going, no, we don't think so, bro. We don't think so. We would like to examine it a little bit further. And so 13 states are indeed suing to block the merger. I think that blocking it would be a good thing, because if you look at the cross-section of the ISPs, the telecoms and things, the only place where we actually have good, cheap competition and excellent service is in the mobile area, because we have this thing called competition. Okay, I'm going to tell you two fun stories, and I'll give more detail on this one, but I finally dropped Verizon. I dropped it to a company that's going to save me over $500 this year, and the quality of service is going to stay the same. I'll talk more about that later, because there's so much competition in the mobile industry that I can actually get out there and get a much cheaper plan that's just as good. Comcast. Oh, joy. Do I have a fun story about Comcast? So our local Comcast office, they closed down their old office. They opened up a new one. What model do they go with? Verizon Wireless. Hands down, the stupidest possible model you could actually use for customer service. You go in, and it's exactly like going to a Verizon store, only now it says Xfinity everywhere. You go in, and you get a guy with an iPad coming up. What's your name? What do you need? What can I help you with? Oh, sign you in right here. Oh, it'll be like 20 minutes. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm going into Comcast to pay my bill, which I have gone into the Comcast office, every month for the last year. You go in, and I might have been one or two people in line, might have had a 5-minute wait. Usually you walk in, hand them the check at the front, and, we're all good to go. They process everything, hand it back to me, whatever, and we're done. Now, it's about 6 months ago or so, they started use the automated payment machines. I'm like, I'm not using the automated payment machines. No. Okay, I'm not using that crap. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hand you the check, and we're going to process it like, human beings who would want to engage in a transaction. So they closed down the old one. They opened up the new store down in the more higher traffic area, of course, very close to Verizon, by the way, a couple blocks down from that. You go in, and it's just like a Verizon store. Oh, we're going to use, I'm here to pay my bill. Oh, well, we just have these nice new machines right back here. I said, no, I'm not using a machine. What are you paying? I'm paying with a check? Well, here, the machine's the best way to go. Moron! I'm not using your machine! For the love! Moron! And so, well, it'll be like a 20-minute wait. I'm like, I don't care. That's fine. Hey, I'll sit here and work on news articles for 20 minutes. It's no big deal. I don't care. I'll wait 20 minutes. I wait my 20 minutes, and I get Larry, Moe, and Curly, the three stooges, bunch of idiots, do not actually know how to process a check. The first guy gets back there, and he's like, there's one dedicated computer to take payments. They've got like 30 computers in the place. What? Everyone has their own dedicated terminal. No, they got to take you back to the one computer. The guy can't figure out how to get logged in. He's trying to get logged in. Can't get logged in. The other guy comes in. Oh, I'll log you in. He gets logged in. How are you doing it? Where do I know? I don't know. I've never processed a check. I don't know. How do you process a check? What is this thing? It's an archaic thing. What is it? Well, let's just use a machine. I said, give me that back. I'm just going to go mail it in. Yes, Comcast managed to make their service worse. Switching to a new store. Oh, use the automated machine. No, I want to use a check. I want to come in and hand you money for the services that I don't actually want to buy from you. This is the problem, people. We do not have competition in the ISP market, and it causes my internet to cost me over $100 a month for crappy service that I have to stand 25 minutes in line to get to some moron who does not know how to accept a check to receive payments for the stupid services you're rendering to me. This is why the Sprint T-Mobile merger should not happen. We need as much competition in the field as we can. And while we're at it, we need to close down the stupid monopolies and do away with all this garbage and have a whole lot of options. I should have 5 companies to choose from in this town. I am in the 4th largest city in the state of Pennsylvania. You're telling me we can only have one option for internet that gives me greater than 5 Mbps upload? Are you listening, politicians? Or are you brain dead morons? What's going on? No, the Sprint T-Mobile merger should not happen because we need as much competition as possible, because when you do away with competition, I'm left with a stupid, idiotic company that can't process a check. That's the problem. All right, on to cheerier news. The Boeing CEO goes down and crashed and burned for the 373 MAX crisis. So, of course, this is the 737. Did I say 373? I don't know. Apparently, I'm dyslexic today. The 737 MAX crisis occurs. All these planes fly. The problem is they did an over-the-air software update, which changed the UI. The pilots weren't trained on it anymore. And then the safety feature to fix it was an extra add-on. Boeing somehow thought this was a good idea. By the way, the FAA allowed Boeing to self-certify. There's a reason we had certifications. And for all this mess, the board finally fired the CEO because, they pretty much have to stop making 737s and ground all the ones that they have. Yeah, that's a lot of waste. So, it's kind of exciting. But anyway, oh boy. Oh, onto the Sackler family, my favorite. I'm still thinking that the Sackler family, maybe we should just burn them at the stake. I don't know, hang them in Times Square. We need to bring back those old medieval torture elements because of what these people actually did to our society. Understand this. Criminals, whatever, murderers, judge them into jail. Sackler family, no, let's make it worse. Here's why. Because these guys caused the opium epidemic. And then they hid all of their assets out of their companies. They fought and paid off judges to not actually have to claim bankruptcy and actually be personally accountable for this kind of stuff. And so Tufts is looking at all this stuff. Tufts University are like, no, we're going to take the Sackler name off of our medical institute. The Sacklers are now threatening to sue Tufts for taking their name off. Well, cry me a river of tears. Maybe I'll chip in and help pay for a lawyer to defeat the Sacklers at something. The Sacklers have had enough of this world. Let them build a rocket ship and go colonize Alpha Centauri somewhere. We don't want them on the planet anymore. These people are bad folks. This is just a couple weeks here, just a couple lines here, but the Tufts University had a blog post back in December 5th, and this is actually reporting on the fact that the family is kind of calling on them to pull this away. But anyway, not a fan of this kind of stuff. Not a fan. All right. Apple has a top secret team working on satellites to beam data to devices. Their ultimate plan, do away with all these mobile carriers. Hey, the only area that we actually have good competition in the United States, the mobile phone industry, let's just bypass it altogether. You Apple guys, you who have your Apples, you guys possibly will have the option to connect your iPhones directly to satellites, bypassing the mobile networks altogether. Apple will beam it all up and then beam it down to the carrier directly. You don't even have to have a carrier anymore. Probably a good thing because the phone costs you enough for 15 iPhones and their plans. I don't know. The phone itself is crazy. But anyway, they're wanting to launch this within 5 years, basically a satellite type system that any iPhones will just automatically beam up to the system, to the satellites, and then the satellites will then transmit the data to whatever lines you're trying to reach. Now, of course, what is this? This is more infinite lock-in, because you have an Apple device, you don't even need a plan. Switching off of your Apple device, if this happens to go through, is going to mean that you do not only do you have to change your phones, you have to change all of where your contacts are. Now you have to figure out which phone you're going to get for a mobile plan. Very interesting. I'll stick with my mobile services, thank you. What do you guys think? Would you guys stick with the mobile services or go with Apple? All right. How dare you? How dare you use my name for malicious campaigns? I mean, really. Researchers discover a malicious email campaign using, how dare you, Gretta Thunberg's name to spread malware. That's exciting. So, of course, with all of these brain-dead people running around listening to an autistic 16-year-old scream about how the entire planet's going into an extinction event, and Ellie, guys, an extinction-level event is happening. We all have to listen to this individual. So people listening to this, and it's making a big deal. I mean, there are murals of this person painted on buildings in like 3 continents now. This is insane. And so in response to all this, some hackers like, hey, let's use this. Let's go with this. And so they went ahead and started to package some Trojans, the Emotet, which is a banking Trojan targeting Windows PCs. Switch to Linux, everybody. And it'll target your Windows PCs and install itself and then harvest your banking stuff. This is why you use separate computers for your banking, people. All right, so what it is if you happen to get, let's see, we saw more .edu domains attacked than domains associated with any other specific country. Makes sense given the strong support Thunberg has among students and young people. Students and young people might need a little bit better education. But anyway, what happens is they're going to send you this information, and it is going to be an attached. It is support Greta Thunberg.doc is going to be a attachment that you will get in your email. When you open this attachment up, it will go online and it will install this banking Trojan malware so that it will then spy in your credentials, steal all of your stuff, and then who knows, maybe hack into all of your things all at once. So anyway, be careful opening any attachment, but of course this targets Windows systems. So if you're on this channel and you're switching to Linux, you will not have to worry about it, but still, let your friends and family know. Anyway, that has been our business edition of the Weekly News Roundup. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.